Hello. Hope everyone is. Can you just please confirm? You can write. Thanks for joining session. Let me just share before this. I'll just have a walkthrough for the things what we are done till now. So okay, fine. Let me also just show you uh, our particular content recordings and all. Yes, if you can see, there were two recordings that were uploaded as part of our recordings and all of our particular series. Even we are also trying to upload things that were related to job openings and all. You can also follow this channel where you can just get the job updates in terms of short videos and all. Even we are also trying the same content in LinkedIn. If you're also following, just follow up on the same. So recordings trying to get, we have uploaded two videos as part of our particular series. Okay, so these were the two recordings. We are at another three recordings. By tomorrow we'll try to upload on the same. So that is one update we just on the recordings part at all. So second thing is, we are also having the forum challenges. I hope you are all part forum challenges. So try to make sure that you're uploading the challenges. Yes, you'll have time till 27th of uh, September, where you can just upload all your cases and all, right? This is where you can get the data of all the links. So let's say that we have completed day 5 series, right? So this is where your day 5 series link was there. This is your day 4 series link. This is your day 3 series link and all. So thing is that like you just need to upload by just clicking on this particular challenge link. Just upload all these details and all. So today, after the session, I'll also share this particular a link where just upload or get the details of all the links related to the particular challenge series and all. Right. So that is one update I just want to provide. So these were two things. Like one thing in terms of uh, challenge things, and second thing is as part of the recordings and all. Right. So till now we have gone through around five series of things where we have covered things related to DU, we have things covered related to testing and also core automation. Tomorrow also, today we thought of covering that was related to Studio Web. So which part to do will just shortly, and also tomorrow we have session that was related to testing too, which will be taken care by Deepak Rai. Yeah. So without much delay, let me just jump into our particular slides. Okay. So as part of the series, we three other speakers, myself, Kiran, who had 7 years of experience and around 5 years of experience with your path. So I'm VP for year 2024. I'm certified advanced developer test engineer too. So and we have also Pradeep Chanala, who is also an MVP for year 2023-24, where he's part of various year-related hackathons and all, and also is advanced certified as well as solution architect. He is presently working as a associate architect, and we have also Patlu, who has around 10 plus years of experience. Is working as technical architect and hash technologies, and he is also MVP for year 2024. Right. As I was saying, as part of the particular series, these were the awards and recognition we have planned, where we are trying to provide around 11 sort of prizes. Five prizes where you'll get earbuds swag vouchers directly from earbud to $40 earbuds swags, and four goodies from the Hyperautomation-ai team. And another thing is like you're also will be featured in the computer, which will be shared across all the community users. Right. So this is already we have discussed where you can submit your ideas and how your things will be going and all. So these were the two use cases which Patru will be showing us. One thing is about and second thing is event-based rigor process automation using Studio Web. So these were the two use cases that is planned as part of the particular challenges today, which Patru will be taking care. Just give us a couple of minutes where he'll just join us, and I'll be just taking over on the part. If you have any other queries, the link where the recordings are uploaded. Yes. So I'll be sharing the group link. You can also get the things. I'll share it across. Once Patru takes a handover, I'll share you all the links in related with the recordings part and all. Yes, thanks, Bhuvaneshwaran sir, by sharing the things. I was unable to join for session, but I have an option to upload. Yes, you can upload till 27th of September. You can definitely upload the things. Okay, so where we'll get the recordings, I'll the links before end of our particular sessions, where we can just go ahead and the things. Just give us a couple small challenge here. Challenges is like we are having some difficulty just let's wait for Paul through a couple of minutes and
Hi everyone. Kiran, you can stop sharing so that like I can take it up from here.
yes, I have stopped style. Thank you.
So can someone confirm me if you can see my screen? Kiran, can you confirm me? Yes,
Yes,
perfect.
yes, we
Thank
are
you.
able to see him.
Thank you,
Yes,
guys.
your voice is
So
also.
yeah, so in today's video, we will be looking at very simple use cases which we can achieve with the help of UiPath Studio Web, and also we will try to execute them if the time permits in the unattended serverless robots as well. But I'll show you how we can configure that. But in terms of implementation and your use case submission, it's not necessary to look for your serverless robots. Just focus on the development what we are doing it. So in terms of Studio, in the automations, we can create our automation from here. So Studio icon will be available here. But in order to execute these automations, whatever we built using the Studio Web, we need to have a robot units. So when you go for a pro trial, you will already having this robot unit. So if you have these, you can try to execute them on the serverless robots, which means like it's not necessary to create our robot on our virtual machines or our machines. So it's not necessary to have a machine. So it will directly go on the browser based automation and it will be getting executed. Right. So having said that, we will create a new project, and the project is very simple, like which we already did multiple times, which is RPA challenge, right? And here, one complexity you might have seen in case to download the Excel, you will not be having anything of downloading the Excel or something available as part of your um, VM which the serverless robot is coming, like because it's a just-in-time virtual machine, so you will be having only the execution purpose, and you will not have this download Excel into the local folder. So we will see how we can download from this and how we can utilize that. Okay, so I'm just opening my Google Drive. I'm creating a new folder, use case 11, and create. So I have created use case 11 folder. So I'm just keeping this folder for me. And in order to work with Studio Web, when we want to authenticate to any of the applications, any productivity apps or anything, right? So we, we need to have this auth- connection to be established between our automation platform and the this whatever the productivity apps we have. So for that we have integration services. If I go to the integration services, so I can create integration services. So let me first create one folder in the orchestrator, so that like I'll be working on the same folder all the time. So I can just create use cases series. I'm just creating a folder. Under this, I just already have the user. So now we will go to the integration services and refresh. This folder will be available for me, use cases series. And here I can establish the connection. Under the connections, you can click on add connection, and we can create a connection between our Google Drive. So what I want to do is, I don't want to come here and I want to directly create from the Studio Web. So now I'll click on new project, and this I'll go with the manual automation. It's getting created. And here we need to open this browser, right? First is we need to open this browser, and we will go here and we can rename this project to RPA challenge use case. And here I'll be using UI automation. Under this, see, all the activities are almost similar how we have in the Studio desktop. In the similar way, we have it here for the Studio Web also. And here we have use browser, and we will be selecting that. So it will be loading, and see, it's not necessary to explicitly install any packages. By default, when we select the activity, that package will be installed. And when I select this, so it will show me all the open tabs. So I can just simply select RPA challenge, and it will identify that. Now I can add my activities here, whatever the activities I want to use. So I need to use the click activity, right, in order to download this file, right? So if I go here and click on that, I just need to indicate on the screen. See here, validate. Duplicate match found. We just need to identify. Under the settings, validate. Oops. Let me try to identify again. And I'm just putting an anchor and click on validate. So now it is successful. So I can just click on confirm. So if I click on this, then it should download and file. Like when I'm clicking on this, it is giving me an option to download. But let me run this flow from the Studio Web, how it works. Click on test step by step. It's kind of a debugging. So we can get the live streaming when the bot is executing. So here is the just in time window, and we open it this for in the next tab also, and we can take the remote control and we can perform the actions on the application as well. And now I'll just go on to the click on next step. It is opening next step. Now it is running opening of this. And if I come here, see this RPA challenge is got opened. And now if I go to the next step, it is working on the click activity. So if I come here, so you can take the remote control and I can try it manually, continue on download. So we have it here, but we cannot open it, right? And even this is also looks like it's not a local folder. So how we can come out of this? So I'm just exiting from here, and I'm closing this, and I'm just stopping this process. So what I want to do is, instead of using the click activity, I'll just click use the UI automation get URL, sorry, get attribute. So I can use the get attribute so that I can get the endpoint of that particular button. One second, guys, just give me a moment. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So we will indicate this on the screen, the download Excel, and I'll click on validate, and it is saying that duplicate match found. I'll select the anchor and click on validate. So validation is successful. Click on confirm. Now here I'll try to get the href. Having href. I'll type href. Guys, again 1 minute. Sorry, I'm back, guys. I'm really sorry for that. Like, actually, I got some office call. So, yeah. So when href is nothing but your endpoint of any of the item or the object we selected it. So here the download Excel is an button to download your Excel. So which means like when you click on this application, it's like you are making a click, but it actually makes an HTTP request behind the screens to this particular URL, to this particular URL. So this we will be from there it is downloading the file. So now what we will do is we'll try to see the output of this, how we are getting this particular attribute value. So we'll use the log message info. I'll just use the variable of attribute value. So sorry, I got many. When we click on it, it automatically populates. And now let me test this application and see how it is getting. So if you see here, it is giving me dot assets and all. So I want to remove this dot, and also I want to put this rpachallenge.com in front of that. So how we can do the string manipulation here is to, we need to use the assign activity, right? Here it will be set value, set variable value, and I'll create a variable. I'll create a new variable here, create variable, file and URL, click on type, I can take, that's fine. Now here I need to set the value, and I can get this even the URL also in a dynamic way. Let us assume that if it is not at the home page, what we will do is we can use the get URL activity in order to get what actually the URL we have in this particular place in the screen, right? In case if you are not aware of, like, it is always at this place or some other page which might be and changing and all, right? So we can use this URL, and it will be the output property URL itself. So here, what we will do is we'll just go to the advanced open expression editor. We will use the URL. So we'll just take from the insert variable URL, and we will use the plus, and then we will insert the URL of attribute value. And here we need to replace with the dot, right? So we will use the replace activity, and or else we can use the substring also, because the same methods we will be following, like how we are following for substring activity. And I can simply say 1 comma, and whatever the attribute value we have, that length minus 1, or length, sorry, yeah, length minus 1. So we will be removing one character. So to validate whether it is working as expected or not, what I will do is I'll just put some value here, and then I'll put some dot slash and some value, and I'll see where is this test. Yeah, I have the test, and I'll be clicking on this. See, I got this point. But if you see my URL, it is saying that here also I have slash, and the URL will also have a slash. So what I need to do is I need to put 2 here, and then 2, and I can say challenge slash dot slash something, and I can just click on text test, and it will be giving the proper URL for me. So this is how I can test even my syntax at the stage of expression editor itself, like whether it is working as expected or not, based on whatever the syntax we are giving or expression we are giving. So click on save, and now we need to see whether the file URL is working as expected or not. So I'll drop down here, and I'll expand this, and I'll put the file and URL. So I'll be putting this variable and we will run this flow and see. If I see here, my URL is as expected. If I'm putting it in the URL, right? See .xlsx. So till this place we are getting. But so if I just use this URL, right? So how we can test whether this can be downloaded with the without even clicking on that button, without using the UI automations and all. How we can do is like if you hit enter, it will try to download your file. So for time being, I'm just putting it downloaded so that like I can use it when I'm writing the code going further. So I'm just minimizing this and I'm closing this. And here my endpoint is coming as expected. So now what I need to do is instead of using clicking on that button, what I can do is I can use HTTP request. So we got a lot of activities, but we need to go with the UiPath specific activities. So if I come here into the categories, if I go to web API, here I have HTTP request activity. So I'll be using the HTTP request activity in order to directly get the file as an output. And the request URL, I can use the file and URL. So this will be my URL. Oops. So this is my URL. And in the additional properties, if you see here, I have response attachment, which is going to be my file object. And this I can use, if you see here, it is iLocal resource. This I can upload it to my Google Drive. So now what I will do is I'll just use Google Drive. I'll select Google Drive, or I can just simply type drive. Right. So upload files, I can use this activity. And when we use the upload files, it is getting installed. So it will take a while. And now we need to connect this to our Google Drive. So click on connect to Google Drive and it will open a authentication window, and we just need to click on connect. And I'll select it, continue, continue. So my authentication is getting successful and my connection is getting established now. So now my connection is got established, and now we need to pass on the file, right? So I'll just simply select on this, and under this, whatever the response attachment I have, I'll select it. So now it will directly go into my drive, but I want to go that to a specific folder, use case 11. So I'll select this, my drive, double click, it will open whatever the files we have and use case 11. So I'll be selecting and click on save. So now my file is going into this particular Google Drive. And in the additional properties, we will get the file name also. Whatever the list of files we are getting from here, like in case if you are passing on multiple files, also it will get in the files, or else we can directly go with the first file. So now let us test this till this place, whether it is perfectly downloading it and sending it to the Google Drive or not. Failed one, right? While running. It's not downloading the file. Um, so I'm just stopping this, and the file path is correct, and we are getting from the HTTP request already file exists, replace, and the folder is correct and authentication is correct, and it is saying that find the specific file. So the file we are getting it from here. So let me print out with the log message response status. So let me print this out so that like it will help me to understand what actually going wrong. 200, which is successful, which is correct. But it's still saying that like there is no file. So what I will do is I'll, instead of this, I'll just get the count of what are the response attachment I'm getting. Go to expression editor. So let me do one thing. Cloud.viber.com. I already have a code developed, so I just want to check it how it actually works. Let me go there and see what is the response method we have. Let's get. Okay. So the mistake I'm doing is I need to give the file name in case if there is a file which is getting downloaded, I need to give the name of it. Like whatever the endpoint when we are downloading, so it is giving an option to like when we are directly clicking on this, it is asking an option to write the name, right? So in the similar way, we just need to provide the file name. So here I'm just typing challenge.xlsx. So in UiPath Studio desktop, we will be using the double quotes in order to write the file name. So here it will be directly whenever you're writing this thing, it's not necessary to use the double quotes. When you are going to the expression editor, there only you need to provide this double quotes. Now let us test this and see how it is working. Okay. So I'm just removing this log message. This is not required. So let me run this workflow now. And now execution is completed. If I go to the Google Drive and refresh, so now I could able to see the file here. So if I open this file, so I could able to see all the data which needs to be entered. So now I'll be coming back to my studio, and now we will be building the workflow. So here what I will do is, for each row, because we need to read for each row of the spreadsheet. So we'll say for each row. So you can see it here, like for each row in the spreadsheet. So we'll be selecting it. So the same applicable even if we go with the OneDrive also. Now we need to again connect to the Google Sheets separately. Whatever we have done the authentication for Google Drive, that will not work out here. So that will be only for the drive, and when we are going with the sheets, again we need to do the authentication to the Google Sheets. And now we could able to connect. So it will take a while in order to select. Yeah, we received. And now we need to have a spreadsheet instead of selecting it, because we are dynamically downloading and putting the file. So what we will do is we will simply use the variable. So instead of that, we will use the variable. Oops, sorry. We need to use the URL or ID. And under this URL or ID, we need to give the fast file dot ID or URL. First file, and here you will be having URL or ID. So we can select either ID or URL. So I'm selecting the ID. So I need to remove this, remove, and it will be referring to this particular challenges.xlsx. And when it comes to the range, we will be giving sheet 1. So I'll be just directly putting the value here, which is sheet 1. And now we could able to loop through this particular for each row of the spreadsheet. If I expand it here, so here I need to input all of my type into and submit buttons. So I'll use the type into here, type into, indicate the target, first name I want to go for it, validate, click on confirm. And in the similar way, we will be using type into for the others as well. So let us write the first name. So whatever for each row we are getting here, so we need to pass in the value. So we will use the variable, which is current row. And in the current row also, we need to provide the whatever the column name we want to have, right? So we need to go for it. So let me click on show more, extend current row. So, so what I will do is I'll simply go to the expression editor and I'll simply say current row. And in the parenthesis, I'll use the first name column name. Whatever the first name I have here, this is my first name. So I'll be putting that and dot to string. If you see here, whatever the syntaxes we are writing, all the syntaxes are similar to what we use in the our Studio Desktop. So there is no difference in terms of Studio Desktop and Studio Web when it comes to the expressions. And we need to use the type into again. And this is for the last name. Validate, confirm. And again, we will use the same. Whatever we have similar to this, we will be using for open expression editor, current row, and in the parenthesis. So I'll copy the last name, click on save, and we'll use the type into again, target. So we will go for What is my third column? We will go based on third column. Pause selection, company name. So we need to go for the company name. Company name, validate, successful, confirm, and I need to provide the company name here. And the column name is company name. Dot toString. Click on save. Closing this. I'll use the type into again. Indicate on screen. I'll go for role in the company. Validate, confirm. And role in the company. I'll go to the expression editor. Current row. Dot toString. Save. And again, address. Type into. Go to address. Validate, confirm. Current row to string, save. After address, I want email and phone number. Email, we'll use the type into again. Email, validate, confirm. Current row to string, click on save. And we need to have a phone number now. Indicate on screen, phone number, validate, confirm. Current row to string, save. And once we did that, we need to use the click activity in order to click the button. Indicate on screen, submit. Validate, confirm. And before we even enter into for each row, right, we need to click on start. So indicate, click on start. Validate, successful, confirm. So my development for RPA challenge, along with like downloading the file using the HTTP request and storing that into our Google Drive and reusing the same. So what I will do is I'll simply delete this file now. And now what it will do is it will take the data from the same file and it will execute. So let us test this, how it works. So let me click on test. And now my automation is getting started. And if I click on this, open a new tab, I can see the live streaming, how it actually happening. Now it is opening the RPA challenge. And now it is fetching the URL from the background and downloading the file. And let me go to my Google Drive and refresh this page. My challenge is ready. File is got pushed to the Google Drive. Now it should start typing, but I'm not pretty sure like first name is properly validated or not. In case if we get the error, maybe because first name we didn't validate it properly. So we will wait for that and we will just confirm that. For each row, oh, here itself I got the error. Request is not expected. Let me see this. I'll put it into a notepad. Not expected by. So additional properties. So this might be the ROM. So I'll stop. I'll remove this. I'll just clear this where. So from where I can clear this. I'll just change it to file picker again. And let me change it to URL or ID. And if I go to expression editor, I can use first file dot id. Save. Now it is working as expected. Previously it is not coming as properly, but now we need to use the method in order to get it. So click on test. So now it is starting the streaming. I can open this in a new tab. And even if there is a file, right, it will delete and replace this file. If you see here, previously it is 824, now it is 826. Now it should start working, or else we got the error. We got the error again. Operation is not supported. But this is how it actually works. So let me stop this. Sheet 1 is correct. But it should be supportable. Okay. Because we are not converting this into the Google spreadsheets, for that reason we are getting this error, because this is an XLSX file. So when we are uploading this, we just need to convert this to true so that it will be automatically converted to the sheet, because the activities which we are using to read the data from the spreadsheet is specific to the Google spreadsheets. So now if you see here, it is .xlsx, right? So we will see what format it is getting converted. So now it should start working. If I refresh this page, now our extension is, this is specific to the Google spreadsheet. If you see the symbol, right, you can see it. So now if I go here, it is typing. When I open it, see this. So now it is entering all the details. So now it could able to execute the entire process. So now how we can publish this project? So we just need to click on publish. And in case if you want to have write something, if you want, you can write it, or else you can just simply click on the publish. It's kind of a release notes we will do whenever we are going to publish it. So here we have an option whether you want to publish it to your personal feed or personal workspace or to the orchestrator tenant. So I'll be selecting orchestrator tenant and click on publish. So once this is published, if I navigate to orchestrator, I'm just, if I go to my tenant, under the packages, I can see this RPA challenge use case. So if I go to use case series, and here I can create my process. Click on add process, and we can select this. See guys, this is not part of your challenge. So whatever you are going to build this workflow, right? You just need to upload till this place, right? And if I come here, I can select the package and go back, go to the next. And if you see here, you can select any other user accounts or connections, or you can use the same. Whatever we in the here we are taking from the drop down, right? We are not passing it as a variables. So here, in case if you want to configure another accounts or another any connectors connections already, if we have like, because from production development and tenant the accounts will be different, right? So here you can keep as it is whatever is there, or else like you can just select from here whatever the folder you are moving, right? So in that folder you can see whether your connection is established or not. So based on that it will work. So click on next, and we can see allow live streaming. So it's up to us in terms of this cloud robot serverless. This is one of the important thing which we need to consider. So here, if I go here, we have small, standard, medium, right? So in this way, whatever we have, right? Uh, these VMs are of sizes, which RAM, or like in case if it is small, it is 0.5 RAM, and in case if it is standard 2 GB RAM, and medium it is something 8 GB, large is 10 GB RAM. So that's how the VMs are uh, VM sizes are defined. And in case if you have any UI automation, it is recommended to use the standard. And if you are dealing with any larger data automations or something, so based on that we can go up. And based on the execution time and the VM size we are selecting, your robot units will be consumed. So which I showcased in the beginning, the licensing of robot units, right? That units will be consumed based on this. So majority of the times keep automatic and click on create. So this is how we can publish our studio web project into the orchestrator. And I'm not pretty sure whether it will run in proper way or not, but I'll show you how to run it as well. But here, right, we need to create a serverless machine before we go for it. So clicking on cancel leave. So process is created. So I can go here, edit, and if I go and check the package requirements, so these I'm just leaving as it is, and I'm allowing streaming and automatic I have selected, right? In case if required, we will increase the things. So click on update. Now we will need to go to the tenant, go to the manage access. We don't have any user as of now here. So first I want to create a robot account, which is I'll be creating from manage accounts, and create a robot account, serverless robot. Click on automation user and click on add. Go to organization. So now I have done this. So now here I need to select serverless robot, and I can select the robot as a per role and click on next. Unattended setup, enable is correct. We don't need any credentials for the robot account when we are running with the serverless robots. But in case of our unattended robot, which we are configuring on our VMs, we need to have the credentials. So this is done, and now we need to create a machine. So by default, we already have a cloud robot serverless. Now we need to add these two to this particular folder. click on assign, and we can select serverless, and role is robot, assign, and machines we will select that serverless, update. So now we have created all of our machines, and now we'll go to the automations, and here we will start, and we are taking the serverless, and robot account is serverless robot, no credential is defined, default server robot services. So I'll refresh this, it's running. So open live streaming. So we are getting some error because of the size, I guess. So we just need to increase the robot size. See, could not retrieve the results of the job execution because message was too large to process. So we can increase the robot size and we can execute, because by considering the time, right, like we need to complete one more process. So I'll be starting with the next use case, and this is how we are going to publish the studio web project to the orchestrator, and we will be executing on the serverless robot. So only building of this will be part of your challenge to upload in the forum, not this whatever the rest execution what we have done, right? So you can try it out yourself, so this will work. So before I go for the next, right, I just would like to know, like, if you have any questions, one or two questions, who can we can develop in Studio Desktop as well. Yes, cross-platform projects you can create, and you can open this and create it in the Studio Desktop. But in case if you want to go for that, right, like the problem is how you want to execute. Like when you are creating it in Studio Develop, Desktop Studio, right? In that case, you may use some activities which are not part of your Studio Web. So in that case, it will be problem. This use case one, we get default Gmail account credentials which everybody can use to upload. No. You need to use, see, when you are uploading, right? So we will go for it. Okay. So I'll go here and I can download it. Okay. So this RPA challenge use case I'm downloading. Save. Okay. I'll go to another tenant. Sorry, whatever I used in private, right? So I already have some connections. First, let me remove those connections. Connections. I'll remove all the connections, whatever I have, because it's with the same account, right? Same email ID. So you will be get confused. And the other also, this is Microsoft 365. It's not necessary. I'll go here. So I'll remove all the Gmail related stuff. Okay, I don't have any other connections. I don't have any connections. I don't have any connections. So now I'll go to the Studio Web. I'll click on import a project, upload that file which I have downloaded. Import is successful. If I open this, so I don't have any extension installed here, so I can just simply go. I already have the connection. So what I will do is extension. What I will go do is I'll go to my extensions, because it's in the incognito mode, right? So there is my UI path, Studio Web Automation details. I'll turn on the incognito mode. Okay, so now I'll close this. I'll go to this and refresh it. If you see here, right, the connection is disabled. Again, you need to connect and you need to configure your email. Without that, it will not impact. Like your connection details will not be shared when you are importing and exporting. Again, you need to do the connect. So hope your fear is, uh, you should not be having any fear, I guess now, right? Yeah, perfect. Thanks. So now I will go for the second use case. So what I will do is I'll create one more folder, use case 1, create. I'll place a file in this, and from there the bot will be reading the file and extracting the information. So let me go to my file and show you which one is invoice. And we will try to extract the information using generative AI capabilities in the Studio Web. So I'm just pushing this code file to my folder, use case 12, upload file, desktop. I'll upload sample invoice 1. Now I have the file created here. So in the Studio Web, now I want to create a new project with an action. Okay. So what I will do is drive, and file is created. As soon as a file is created, this will trigger the automation. Now it is getting installed. Yeah. So in the location, so I need to select the folder. So I'll go to my drive and I'll go to use case 12. As soon as the file is placed under this particular drive location, so it can be done for the email also. Okay, and we can put the filters also, whether the file name contains or any specific person is giving or something. So for now I'm not putting any of these. So we will get the file output and we want to extract the information, right? Extract document data using document understanding. And here, in order to extract your information, we have multiple options. So we can go with the predefined, whatever is already available, which means when you select the predefined, you will see all the out of the box AI models which are already available in the UiPath Studio, UiPath. And if not, you can just simply remove this, and you can just click on create document understanding project, and from here you can select whatever the new project you want to have. So once you create something in your document understanding project, then you will get an option of custom along with the predefined. When you don't have anything, it will always give you the predefined, and from the extractors we need to select the extractor. And in this case I can go with invoice. It is very easy for me. Directly it will give me, because it's already pre-trained model, but I want to go with a generative extractor. Okay, and the prompts I need to give, we need to add the field names and we need to give the prompts. So I can just simply click on add and text invoice number, invoice date, invoice total. So I'm not going much detail, so these are the details which I want to have. And now I can say simply what is invoice number, what is invoice date, what is invoice total. So I'm not going to train the model, or I'm not going to do any manipulations. It's very simple. I just gave only 3 prompts, and the input we need to provide. So use the variable, which is nothing but my file. So now I'm passing on the file and I'm asking to give the output of this. So we will be getting the document data. So I'll go to this category. So we can just simply use the export document data. Whatever the data we are getting here, so I already got that. Remove. Sorry, this is extract. document understanding. Sorry, I'm just a bit confused with our studio desktop and this. Just give me a moment, guys. So I'll be using a spreadsheet in order to write the data. So I'll go to the Google Workspace, write range. So I need to have a spreadsheet created here, but we can use the even create spreadsheet also, create spreadsheet also, and we can use before that and under use case 12, save. And before writing, right, I want to execute and see how it is working till this place. Remove. And the spreadsheet name we can give invoice data. And first sheet name is sheet 1. And in case if something is exist, don't replace. We'll change it to replace. So now I'll test this. Oops. I'll see whether this got created. Sheet is not got created. Oh, execution is completed now. I'll see this. So it is getting created now. So what we will do is we will try to print what data is got extracted here. So I'll use the log message info. So I'll use the variable document data extract data, document data, data, invoice number. I'll go for the expression editor. plus environment dot new line. Why it's giving me error? So I need to put as a toString. Yeah, now this works. Again, I need to have the other fields also. Invoice date dot toString plus environment dot new line plus dot invoice total dot toString, and click on save, and let us run this flow and see. So we are getting the error. So we can run it again because this is working as expected previously also, but maybe because of some AI units or something, we are getting that error. So it's not a problem. You can run it again. So execution is started. Now we should be getting the oops. DU framework exception. Okay, we will wait for some more time in order to go for it, and let me see if something is going wrong here. I'll just click on this prompt and everything is correct. Click on cancel, and we will build the rest of the workflow and then we will execute it. So now we are getting the document data extracted. So whatever the data is getting extracted, so we are getting that data to be extracted, and we could able to get all the details. And we may have multiple tables in it, right? So we need to use the for each activity in order to loop through the document data extraction results. So we'll be using the variable document data, and we'll go to the additional properties, and the argument type is data table. Data table. And here inside of this, we will be writing our data. So I'm just removing this because we already have the file, and or else like what we will do is we'll just use the create spreadsheet here instead of that. So that activity is not coming. Data table. So we need to show more. We need to select list of data tables. So we'll go to the variable, show more, expand, show more, result as a data tables. We need to select this. And now it will loop through each of the data table. And as I said, I will need to create a, so let me remove this. We need to create a spreadsheet. And under use case 12, and the spreadsheet name is document data extraction. I'm not using the existing name, so I'm just giving a new name, and show additional properties, and will replace it in case if it is already exists. And we will use right range. We can add the sheet, but we already have the sheet one. We will be having first sheet will be already created. If not, we can use the add sheet activity. Add sheet activity. So if you want to have a specific name, so here we can use the variable, which is the output of this create spreadsheet. And right range also we will be using the same, change to use variable, create spreadsheet, save spreadsheet for later. And in the range we need to give the sheet name. So here we are adding the sheet with the name, we can say summary, and here we will be using the same name whatever we created, or else we can use the output of this, which is sheet name. We'll use the use variable sheet name. So include headers true, overwrite, and what to write, current data table. It's not this one. We will be having a for each inside of that current data table. So we will be writing this data table. Save it, and here we are writing it as a summary sheet, but we are looping through each of the tables. So when we are looping through each of the tables, this is not the right way to deal with. So we may need to have some specific name or index or something we need to use, right? So here we can simply go for uh, we can use the table name. When we are looping through each of the tables, for each data table, when we are using in terms of studio web desktop also, sometimes we will be using data table dot table name. So here we can use this. So we will save and we'll try to run this flow. The execution is started. Oh, we are getting this error, but if we are not getting this du error, right, we will not get any issue. So let me go here, stop, and let me check my license. License allocations. I'll go here in terms of licenses, consumables, AI units. I still have AI units, but still I'll add some more. It's not a problem. Ideally, it should not be an issue because still I have 1000 available. It should not go beyond it, but still, for safer side, I'm just adding it. I'll go to the studio. We might be getting some error when it is getting executed on the VM. So I'll put it in the notepad and see what exactly the error is. The generator requires valid prompts. Check the prompts and try again. But we are giving the proper prompts. Let me go here, go to this, invoice total amount, save. Let me do one thing. Let me delete this file and re-upload and try to go for it. And also in between, I want to write the file name also here, because I need to be make sure that like whether we are getting the right file or not. Info, use variable, file name. So let me run this now again. Invoice data. It's going for this particular Excel what we already have. So we should get only the PDF, not the Excel. Stop. You can have your filters, and here file extension is equals to PDF. Save. And now I will upload a new file, which is my PDF. Now it will take only for the PDF, because of Excel, it is giving that like this will not work out. So we will run the file. Now, test it. Execution is started. So we have got the log message, and now it is running extract document data. It is going for the sample invoice. Successfully run, and now we are trying to create a spreadsheet which will replace the existing. It is also executed, and now we are going for adding the sheet and write range. Now we will go to the output file. That is my summary. So I need to refresh this page. Document data extraction, which we have renamed it. So root cause documents. So we are giving the table name, and these are the details which it got extracted. So this is how we can use the document understanding generative AI, generative extractor, in order to extract the information from the invoice and putting it into the spreadsheet. Not only putting into the spreadsheet, because see, why do we need to have this, right? Like, because not only for putting the spreadsheet or something, it will not work out for us. But if we go to the integration services, so whatever the connectors we have, see that we have a lot of connectors. So you have connections with a lot of ERP tools as well. See, in for if you take the UI Oracle NetSuite, right? So I'll just use the name of Oracle. I'll use the Oracle. So we have Oracle NetSuite, like which we don't have for the UI desktop. Yoga Studio desktop. So there are a lot of connectors we have as part of our integration services, and we can leverage them as part of our UiPath Studio Web. So this is the major advantage we have. In the similar way, we can publish this as well, and we can create a process. So let me go to the studio. So these, I need to rename this process. I'll go to the project settings and I'll rename it to extract invoice information use case. Click on save. So now even I can publish this as well. Open. Run this. So it's going for the sample invoice. Oh, sorry, refresh this. I'll publish this workflow now. So publish. I'll be publishing the orchestrator feed and click on publish. So now I'll go to my automation cloud orchestrator. Under the automations, I can create a process which is extract invoice information use case. Click on next. I'll keep as it is whatever the configurations were there, and live streaming is not required. And we'll go for the automatic and click on create. Start now. Serverless, serverless robot, default servers. Click on start. So if you see here, it is created on 9/4, and let us see whether it is successful or failure. So there is something wrong with my configurations. So because of that, it is not getting executed, but the process is same. So whatever you have created, the use cases or like one before you submit, right? Simply you just need to click on download and upload that UIP file. So previously we are like we are uploading zip file, right? But here we will be uploading UIP extension file. So whatever we have in the, let me see, under the downloads, I think I have this UIP file. So with that extension, you need to upload in the forum. So these two are the use cases which we have. And now we are open for the questions if you have any questions. Can we use OneDrive? Yeah, you can use OneDrive, SharePoint instead of Google Drive. So it doesn't matter like what you are using. So we will be looking at only the uh, functionality wise. We use UiPath Studio Desktop. No, this is intended for Studio Web, right? So I hope I'm expecting that to be developed in the Studio Web. Want to understand about the exception handling in Studio Web based on automation. In desktop based on automation, we are familiar, but web based, we are encountering error execution. How can we tackle this kind of scenario? Going to the serverless for execution, post going to this. See, irrespective whether it is before it is deployed into the production or whether we have it in um, development mode. So it doesn't matter, right? Like we received some error in the document data extraction previously, if you remember here in this, right? What we can do is we can use the try catch. Move this to the try block. Yeah, here you can add multiple exceptions types also. By default, you'll be having system exception, and you can add multiple exceptions, and you can put the log messages inside of your exception. So I can go to the log message, and I can go to use variable, and under the exception, I can say exception message, and this I can say error. So now it will handle the exception. Okay, and Do you have any other questions, guys? Screen is not visible. Oh, sorry, I didn't share my screen. I'm really sorry, guys. So here we I just kept, so previously it is like this. So when you drag and drop, you can easily drag and drop try catch. Select the try catch, and in the try block we will be keeping the our workflow whatever we want to keep, and we already have a by default system exception. You can add any other exception types also. So you can accept, you can go for a business exception or whatever that type of exception. And in case if any exception comes, we can use the log message, and we'll change that to error, and we'll use the variable. And inside of the exception we can have, sorry, we can have exception message. So this is how we can even do the exception handling similar to what we do in the Studio Web, Studio Desktop. So there is no much difference. Okay. So do you guys have any questions? If not, I'll make everyone presenters. Please turn on your cameras, and we will just take a snap screenshot, and then we will wrap up the session.